What is up, guys? It's Cal, and in this video we'll be taking a look at Queen Azshara in the Eternal Palace raid coming in patch 8.2. So they finally allowed us to face against the Queen herself, but only in heroic mode, like the rest of the bosses. Except I got some bad news for you guys. Phase 1 of the fight was overtuned too much, so I barely got to see the Queen herself since she doesn't come out till Phase 2, I'm sorry. Now, I'm not even going to go over the backstory of Queen Azshara. She was just this night elf that got corrupted by an Azeroth or something. We all saw the Warbringers video. Now let's get into the fight. So as you can tell, we're in this underwater globe called the prison, or it's called the last prison or something. Queen Azshara is right there, just looking over us. When the fight starts, there are these two NPCs that spawn named Athanel and Cyranus, one tank on each, and they have to die at the same time. Although you can tank them together, which seems a bit odd, I don't know. Maybe you can't. We couldn't really tell. I feel like on live you won't be able to at least, but currently it doesn't seem to hurt you any extra in any way by taking them together. Now the only thing of importance I can tell you about these guys is that Cyranus charges up and throws his spear at a random player. But that random player, I think, not 100% sure on this, but I think has to run behind one of these pillars so the raid doesn't take a bunch of damage. Now when this happens, the pillar becomes decharged. You can see this extra UI thing on the side of my screen. If one of them starts glowing red, then that's bad. Everyone starts taking a bunch of damage. Now how to give the pillar energy again is that there are these glowing module things beside them for someone to stand in. When you stand in it, it gives the pillar energy, but also reduces that person's max health by 10% per stack for an amount of time. So be aware of how many stacks you have. Also, random people can get mind control to walk towards these runes on the ground, which puts you in a bubble, and people need to DPS the bubble. Nobody would DPS my bubble. I don't know why. Now another thing is, towards the beginning of the first phase, there will be this giant hulking beast that spawns and will run around the field. He's not tanked, but there's two things you can do with him. You can CC him, but when the CC breaks, he becomes immune to them. Or you can kill him. Our group found that it was most beneficial to pop heroism when he spawned and just kill him. He runs to one of the glowing modules and starts doing this ground pound thing on it, which makes the pillar lose energy, which in turn will wipe the raid. So right now in the PTR, killing him before he does this is the safest bet. He can also be stunned and all that. Now briefly going over the tank mechanics, Cyranus does this thing called Serrated Edge, which puts a bleeding thing on the tank, but if the tank parries or dodges it, then it doesn't affect them with that. So there's that. I don't play a tank, so just keep that into account. Then Athanel, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but she casts a cold blast on the tank, which when it reaches 3 stacks, then that tank becomes frozen. Obviously you don't want that to happen, so you'll either need to taunt swap or 3 tank the fight. My group 3 tank the fight. My group also barely got past phase 1, so listening to my strats is probably not the best idea. Also, Athanel casts chain landing, which should be interrupted. And I guess the last thing are these arcane orbs that spawn. As long as they're out on the field, they pulse damage to everyone in the raid. So to get rid of them, people need to stand on them to reduce their size. They're really annoying to deal with. Okay, so when both these mini bosses die, then it's a transition phase. The only thing you have to worry about is surviving. Arcane orbs will spawn, so stand in them and reduce their size. Then Queen Azshara spawns, and that's the entire fight. Well, the entire fight that I could see at least. Azshara then spawns and actually reveals herself to be Sylvanas, so no one saw that coming. Just kidding. That doesn't happen. I mean, it might happen in Mythic, who knows. Then phase 2, there's more ads. Then intermission 2, there's more ads. Then phase 3, there's more ads. Then phase 4, there's no ads, I don't think, but other stuff happens. And then afterwards, we get to find out the true strength of N'Zoth and who possibly told Vol'jin to make Sylvanas war chief. That's why they only allow us to play in heroic and overtune everything an immense amount, so we can't finish the fight and spoil it. Oh, and also something else that's fun, if you /kiss Queen Azshara, she makes you hostile for your group to kill. So let's take a look at the loot. She drops a pet called Zanj Ear Poker. It's neat. She also drops this Aqueous Reliquary, which combining 9 of them creates a piece of gear for you. It's neat. I don't really know the specifics on that. And then she only drops 1 trinket, which gives crit. It says that you harvest latent magic for up to 5 seconds, increasing your primary stats by a certain amount. The duration is extended for each second you spend harvesting up to 30 seconds. I don't know what that means. I guess you can do a 5-second channel, but the channel lasts 5 seconds. But it says the duration is increased up to 30 seconds while you harvest. Who knows? I don't. Now she also drops an interesting healer ring, which gives haste and versatility, and you can bound yourself to another player who has this ring as well, and it will siphon the health from you and give it to that other player as long as they are more injured than you and are within 20 yards of you. So that's cool, and there you have it. Phase 1 of the Queen Azshara fight. Some real riveting stuff. Sorry I couldn't show you more, but I am bad at this game. Actually, it was more my group who was bad. Literally half the group spoke Spanish and the other half spoke English, so it was really a lost cause from the beginning. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, then you can leave a like on it, you can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.